Hi, you'll have filled out the data collection form now for your nonprofit arts organization, all the data collection questions from the previous video. This one will go through quickly the different fields that you'll fill out on being a nonprofit arts organization. Many of these will be selected automatically from the copy of your previous grant, but you will have selected yes, that you're an arts nonprofit, and yes, that you exist as a stable arts nonprofit. So you've been doing programming for the last 2 years. Your IRS paperwork can be uploaded here with the button, selecting a file from your computer. And then within the box and attachment, you'll put the last budget completed fiscal year of your actual finances. A lot of times this is in QuickBooks, the statement of activity for that year. You'll upload that file and put any notes that you need to make into the box. You'll also upload the second to last completed fiscal year for your financials. And there's the upload a file, and you can use your box to make notes about anything, especially if either of those files are missing reference to the grants that you received for that fiscal year. Take the total expenses from those 2 years and divide it by 2 and put it into this box. Then that number will help you decide from the current formula how much you'll receive as a grant if your grant is awarded for general operating. Then you'll put your mission statement into this box if it's not already there. Provide that information. A list of general operating expenses that you hope to use the amount that came from the chart above. So if you're expecting a $6,000 grant, you might list a couple of items here that you're proposing that money will be spent on in the next year. If that total doesn't amount to as much as you need to use the grant funds, then you might use into this box a few of your project expenses within the list to use that funds. The last 2 questions in this section have to do with your full-time equivalent be funded. You might have a half-time position that's part of this, and you can put the number of hours in this box and in a regular year. And then the EXP admin, this relates to the dollar value, the number that is spent from the grant. So it might be, if it's a $6,000 grant, it might be $2,000 that's put towards administrative costs. Moving on, all applicants will put in kind and people projections, venue, and the goals section of the application. So in kind, you'll want to put the dollar amount and use the box to define what in kind you think will be donations from people and donations of items that you might have paid for normally, but you won't within this scenario for rent, in kind, paper, or other donations for advertisements that you don't have to pay for. Your art estimate is the number of adults that will be part of your organization's whole year of exposures. So for instance, if adult participants, adult board members, adults that are actively participating. Youth is an account of within the next year how many youth will be both audience and participants for you. And then the adult is adult audience members, people that will view the art created. Broadcast number has to do with social media and maybe radio announcements. The venues and date section, the start date will be the start of your fiscal year, and the end date will be the end of your fiscal year coming up. Venues is your anticipated main places that you usually do programming. Then in the goals and evaluation and outcome section, you'll select your main focus here for the goal selection, and then write an achievable goal, a SMART goal. that can be achieved, and then evaluate that, how you'll evaluate that goal. There's some toggles that you can select a few key things, and if you want to put in something different, you can use the box. Make sure that your goal isn't just counting heads, that you're able to actually determine how people appreciated the quality or the quantity or a life's changed experience for them. And lastly, there's a little bit of needs assessment questions that we would like you to fill out that help us have ideas for future programming. And then our attachment sections. So you'll attach resumes with uploading the file or using the box to create qualifications and links. Provide the URL link if you're using artist websites for their qualifications. And then you might have quotes for some equipment that you're thinking of purchasing with general operating funds. And you may have additional paperwork or supporting materials. You will want to have a signature by your authorizing official for the organization, which is your president or your treasurer. And the project director most likely is yourself. So you put your signature there. You should not need a fiscal agent signature because you are an qualifying arts nonprofit. The only other thing to note is you do not have to have all your personnel assigned. This is more related to what you've asked for in the budget above, because you'll have the opportunity to add on to this grant more projects and then provide the resumes for other people that you're hoping to sponsor or pay for contracted services throughout the year with additional grant funding. This grant should be matched by an amount of at least 10%. Most are matched by about 25% as a concept with receiving the grant funding. So, all right, thanks. Good luck with filling out the application, and call if you have any questions, 218-745-8886, or email me at director@nwartscouncil.org. Thanks.